Sexplosion is on Power 102, Fridays at 9 p.m. with Dr. Raj, the guru of sex in the Caribbean.
There is an equation between chocolate and sex. There is a formula created by the Aztecs when it comes to chocolate and sex. How many people know that?
The country's most informative sex education program is Sexplosion.
You can't tell me you know how you're going to feel having two persons make love to you when you have never done that.
Sexplosion with the angel.
Sexplosion. Fridays at 9 p.m. Sexplosion. Exclusively on Power 102. Empowering you.
Central thrill up my spine.
Special maritime greetings to you. Special thanks as always to 9 Miles International pulling down the last couple of hours. We're bringing more time. It's now 10 minutes after 9 o'clock, and we do welcome you to Sexplosion on Power to FM with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located out in Augustine. And there he treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. But just to remind you that this program contains material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. And a very special good evening to your family. How are you today?
Pleasant good evening to you. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm just as good as you, but not as good as you.
No, you're supposed to be better than me because you have the view. I don't.
No. I'm just as good as you, but.
Well, for those who have the app, they would be happier than those who don't have the app, and those who are on Facebook. Good evening, Facebook friends, and those of you on Instagram, good evening.
Mm-hmm.
Those who don't have the app, you're missing out, and I'm not going to say why. Junior might spill the beans later, but we're going to leave it like that. And let's see.
We're keep them in suspense. You know, that's the best way, right?
Suspense.
Suspense,
Yes, I agree. So how was your week?
Well, very quiet and very
quiet. Why is that?
It was nothing jumped out.
Nothing jumped out at you?
No.
Halloween pass and nothing jumped out.
Nothing jumped out. Nothing jumped out.
Pleasant good evening to Laura, Camille. Oh, these are two beautiful ladies that I know of. Catherine, Lalita, Farisha, Sabrina, another beautiful lady. Ronald, my good friend from my childhood days. Farina, another beautiful lady. Balchan, Usha, Sasha, Jenny, Helen, Franco, Lynette, my classmate from NEC, Esther, and my cousin in Canada. How are you, darling? Haven't seen you for a while. Vindel, he's in Canada. Ryan, Shiva, Susanna.
So we have a nice audience.
A nice little audience, and I'm sure those who are on the app, if you are on the app and you are seeing what I'm talking about, send me a message on my WhatsApp 7401961 for those of you who want to send your messages on anything. I asked some people to give me a topic for tonight, boy. Where that topic is? Like I have to have a bag here. You think we should get a hat and a rabbit jump out? What's the topic? Where's the topic?
No. Or maybe they need pen and paper. Who knows?
Topic? Someone? Hello?
I guess that's the topic.
Yeah, why do people text when they're supposed to be listening and paying attention to what's going on?
We can multitask.
That's right?
Multitask.
Oh, I think that one could multitask because she is saying boo. She had in the phone. Anyway, so what we about? Why do we do certain things? Why do we act in a particular way when it comes to things of a sexual nature? What drives us as a person when it comes to our sexuality or sexual behavior? Things that we are interested in, things that are supposed to propel us forward. Now, one would think that your sexuality starts when you become a teenager or when you become an adult.
Yeah.
Teenage years into adulthood, but it's not. Your sexuality starts from the time you're born in. Your sexuality starts, it begins when you're born. It begins with whatever gender you're born under. It begins with the stimulus that you start getting at a young age. But also one of the things that determine your sexuality and your sexual behavior and the things that you are exposed to sexually would be your environment. Environment meaning home environment and outside environment, things that are going to affect you and affect your behavior, your life, that would determine your sexuality and your sexual preferences. Now, like everything else, the more you get involved in something, let's take food for the example, because everyone can relate to this. Everyone has a favorite food at some time in their life. So when you were growing up, it might have been doubles or chips in a bag. Something would be your favorite. But as you get older, you would have had enough of that. Buying it, your friends sharing it with you, whatever it may be. And then something else become your favorite. Macaroni pie, chicken, whatever. But you can't eat that all the time because you're going to get fed up.
Yes, you will.
So as you develop, you'll develop likeness or liking for other things. That's how the human being develops. So as you get older with more experience, now in your young age, you are aware of your genitalia. You are aware of feelings that you may have. And I've done countless interviews with persons who are in their adulthood now, but they recall in their adolescent years the things that they used to do sexually. Frotting is one of the major things that were done by a lot of women at a very young age. And they weren't aware of what they were doing in a sexual nature, but in all they knew it was making them feel good. So that's one angle. As you develop, now this is not, you're not being influenced by anyone to do this, and this is what we have to wrap our heads around. You are not being forced by anyone to do it. You're not being influenced by anyone to do it. It is just something that comes along naturally. And you're wondering, well, how is this natural? Now the child or the young person will not even ask that question because it just feels good. And anything that feels good, you'll do. Correct?
Well, of course you
All
will.
right. So, in that developmental stage, sometimes parents would ask me, Dr. Raj, when do I talk to my child about things of a sexual nature? And the formative years are the best years to discuss sex with your child. And I'm talking about from 3 years of age upwards. Now, you'll say, well, how could I talk to my child about sex at 3 years of age? You let them know the truth about sex without using the raw words and without giving too much information. But you yourself have to be educated in that area. You must know how to put across stuff. You should be comfortable enough in discussing it and saying certain things. Now, sometimes you're comfortable saying certain things, but it is limited to you just giving instructions as opposed to having a conversation. Okay, for example, you'll tell a child, don't touch that. So the child, being curious, would be, why mommy tell me don't touch this? Why?
You'll be tripping up on it.
Right, because you want to know why not to touch it. So if the parent says, here what, if you touch this, you're going to get burned. Let me show you. And you see the finger get red. The child is not going to do it because you have explained to the child why. Or you take the child hand and put it right above it so they can feel the heat and say, you will get burned if you touch that. And you don't want to get burned. But many a times we lay out instructions to our children. You shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that, you shouldn't feel good, you shouldn't enjoy sex, you shouldn't want to have sex. But it's only instructions as opposed to having a discussion with the person about their feelings, their sexuality, their development. Because everybody has a sexual development, within themselves. But if you don't converse with your child or converse with that person, how are you going to know exactly what the person likes? That's where a lot of time when I talk to someone, I get that to come out very easily because I ask the right question and I allow the person to converse with me. And of course, they have to trust you. Once a person trusts you, they would tell you certain things that they would not even tell their parents. That's part of being a sexologist and a sex therapist and a counselor. But many a times a parent will ask me, find out about my child's sexuality. Find out what he or she likes to do. If you think the person is gay, if you think, and I don't think, I like to find out factual things. And I told you some time ago, about a month ago, I told you of an encounter I had with a parent who was asking me to find out if a child was gay.
Oh yeah.
Right, and we had a conversation. Of course, the parent was there, but the conversation was kind of private because obviously you don't want to let the parent hear what's going on. And when the person revealed to me certain things, now I can't go and tell the parent outright what it is, because how is that parent going to handle the truth? And lots of time a person will tell you they want to hear the truth or they want to know the truth, but they really cannot handle the truth. They may use that information against the child. They may use it against you. They may use it in such a way that the child is further traumatized as far as their sexual behavior is concerned, because sometimes one of the things that we love to do in society is to beat gayness out of people. And I'm not talking about just Trinidad society, I'm talking about society as a whole.
I could remember growing up. I mean, if you was gay, you couldn't even walk the streets.
Right. And you think that is a right thing to do?
Of course not.
It's not. A person's sexuality sometimes is determined by their behavior. Sometimes it could be indoctrinated into the person, and sometimes they're just born that way. So why are you punishing someone for something that they have no control over? And that's what we tend to do in society. We tend to judge these things and come up with our own ideas and say, well, she's bisexual, he's homosexual, she's lesbian, and we put labels on people. But sometimes if you look in the mirror, you'll see a lot of labels for yourself. A lot of labels for yourself, because you're wondering, well,
Things that
am I really this person that I'm projecting in society? Or who am I when it comes to my mentality, my mental thinking, my sexual behavior, my actual sexual behavior, and the things that I like to do?
Especially when you're watching yourself in a mirror.
Right. But many a times we can't look at ourselves in the mirror. Do you know there are lots of people out there who cannot look at themselves in the mirror and be honest with themselves? Because they know they have been lying to themselves and lying to society for so long that they don't see a true reflection of themselves. And many a times people get caught up in a lie, and the lie becomes their truth.
Yeah.
But it's not the truth. So when they look at themselves in the mirror and they try to examine themselves, it's like, am I who I project myself out to be? Now, if you want to have true self-esteem, and you want to have that power within yourself, you have to be truthful. That's one of the things I've learned. After this evening, somebody was asking me, you were always like that growing up? I said, yeah. I was always forthright. I tell you as it is. My mother used to tell me I have a plaster for every sore.
Straightforward.
Straightforward. Because that's the only way I know it. I remember in school, we had a situation that involved serious allegations. And for a time, the person came in front of the class. Before the person could say the name, I just stand up and do so. So the person looked at me and said, what? I said, I'm giving you a drum. He said, yeah, your name first on the list. Come. I said, I know my name will be first on the list. And I said, I'll call out the other names for you. And I call out the 4 other names, and he's like, okay, well, you must be guilty. Took us in a bathroom and started to question. I said, no. If you think I'm guilty, fine. But prove I'm guilty. I'll manage it. So he started to talk, and then he says, I said, sir, let me tell you what I have. And I showed him. I said, and if I was fearful of you, I'll never put up my hand and never come in the back here alone with you. But I'm not fearful of you. You do what you have to. And everybody knew me like that. If something was done wrongly in the class, I'll take the blame. I will take the blame. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. Where's to get some lash? I got 52 lash already, 26 on each hand. Like that. The whip broke. You have to go and get another whip to beat me. Like that.
52 you're talking about?
26 on each hand. My hands were swollen like that. Couldn't close my finger. And I wasn't the wrong one. But I knew the person who did it, and that person couldn't take punishment.
So you took the fall for him?
I took it. It wasn't him, it was a her. And not because it was a her.
No, well, then you took the fall for him. You didn't take a fall.
Well, it wasn't because it was a her.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, but that is the way I always grew up. Even last night somebody asked me that question. Today somebody asked me that question again, because they find I am so forthright and I'm straightforward. Because if you tell someone the truth, you don't have to remember what you tell them, because it is the truth. So if they bring it up in a conversation a year down the line, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, it is the same answer.
No, you don't have to think of an answer.
The answer will never change. So those who are from Northeastern College and recall what happened at the chemistry lab in Form 5 will know exactly what I said is the exact truth. Nothing has changed from that time, which is what? 39 years ago to now? No, 40 years ago to now. Nothing has changed. It still remains the truth.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, 24 minutes after 9 o'clock, you are on the inside of Sexplosion on Power 102 FM. And it's all about giving our listeners what they want and expect from a good radio program when it comes to sex education, exclusively on Power 102 FM. We'll take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
FM Campaign 1441.
The transactions which should have happened to ensure that matters are done in good order and in accordance with our own procedures fell down some point. And we would like to determine where this happened.
Power 102 FM Campaign 1441.
But you right here live.
This is the data of the deaths of H1N1 for 2013, 2014, and 2015. And
You hear live.
lying to the country. Data unavailable. Do you know what that means? It means they hid the data.
Power 102 Digital.
If a data is unavailable, it means that you cannot get it from the National Public Health Lab. But to accuse the then Prime Minister of deliberately hiding data is a serious accusation, and it's unfair.
Power 102 Digital. With the Power 102 app, social media, and power102fm.com. Power102fm.com. Power 102 FM Campaign 1441. All-inclusive Saturdays on Power 102 FM with the best music and personalities to power your day, all day on a Saturday. Sir Charles, Bass, DJ Maggie, Gayland, and the ultimate DJ Shane. All-inclusive Saturdays on Power 102 FM. Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. all day on a Saturday on Power 102, empowering you. Sexplosion is on Power 102. Power 102, Fridays at 9 p.m. with Dr. Raj the guru of sex in the Caribbean.
There is an equation between chocolate and sex. There is a formula created by the Aztecs. When it comes to chocolate and sex, how many people know that?
The country's most informative sex education program is Sexplosion.
You can't tell me you know how you're going to feel having two persons make love to you when you have never
Sorry.
Sexplosion
My apologies,
with
sir.
the angels.
Totally forgot.
Fridays
Did
and
that mean to?
Sexplosion, exclusively on Power 102, empowering you.
Well, I can tell you that knowledge and experience, this is what it's all about when you're on the inside of Sexplosion on Power 102 FM with Sexologist Dr Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located at St. Augustine. Now, here is where we give you the opportunity to chat with Dr. Raj. Some of you might have problems that is sexual and you need a forum for it. Well, this is the place to be. All you've got to do is give him a call at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. For those of you who want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, that can also be done on his private mobile, 740-1961. May I remind you that this program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are there for advice. Yeah.
Good night. The advice you gave me to use the coconut oil on my fingers did work, so I'm having a very satisfying relationship with my partner, so I thank you very much. God bless. And this is somebody who was unable to have penetration. Just the same way somebody last night told me when we spoke about the dahi, using dahi to wash out the vagina, and it brings back the pH balance because the person, what is dahi? So I see my nephews on. Sashi, how are you? The person was telling me that when someone has an infection, like she had an infection for a long while and she couldn't get rid of it, eventually what she did, she heard it on the program and she tried it and it helped. So it's good when people learn something from the program, because that's what the program is all about.
You learn something.
I think we should be teaching people. That's one of the things that we love to do. So, getting back to what I was talking about when it has to do with a person's sexual feelings, their sexuality, their sexual behavior, the things that they want to experience, and being truthful. There's a philosophy where it says, "Man, be true to thyself."
Oh yeah.
Be true to thyself, because if you're not true to yourself, who are you going to be true to? So once you understand the things that you would enjoy, the things that you want to do, the things that are going to make you develop sexually, that's the first step. I understand that these are the things that I want to explore, these are the things that I want to do, and it's who I am. What's the next step? Finding an avenue to enjoy it. Now, there are many persons out there, male and female, who cannot find an avenue to enjoy the things that they want to enjoy sexually. And I can tell you that it transcends all race, it transcends gender, it transcends age bracket, it transcends everything that you could think about. There are persons out there who want to experience certain things. Somebody just sent me a text message and says, submission and dominance. That's a big thing now. Persons who want to be dominated, persons who want to experience BDSM, persons who want to be submissive to someone. They may be even married, they may be in a relationship, they have a boyfriend that they want to do certain things with, but he's not into it. They have a girlfriend who wants to do certain things, they're not into it. There are a lot of frustrated people out there who cannot explore their sexuality and their sexual behavior simply because the other party or other parties don't understand that this is reality. They don't understand that this is reality. It's like a guy liking a threesome. Now, if you ask the average woman that question, they'll tell you all men like that. But not all men like a threesome, because not all men can handle a threesome, and mentally they think it's sick, or they may think that you shouldn't be getting into that. Now, what is a threesome? If you ask a male what is a threesome, they will give you one answer. If you ask a female what is a threesome, they may give you a totally different answer. So it's not the same thing that you conjure up in your mind when it comes to that. When it comes to an orgy, a lot of people don't understand an orgy. You know, an orgy is not a social gathering to talk or to be on your cell phone or to wonder what's happening with the children, or an orgy is for sex.
It's just to get
Full stop.
maximum performance.
It's for sex. You're there for sex. You can't tell somebody, I'm not taking off, you're in an orgy, I'm not taking off my clothes. Then look the door there. Because that is what it is about. But if your idea of what it is contrary to other person's idea or reality, you're going to have difficulties. And a lot of times, especially with the younger generation, and this is what I'm finding, the younger generation conjure up something in their mind because of something they see on television or in a movie, and they think that's reality. But it's not. It's like you ask the average young person about porn and sex is two different things. And I'll give you an example. If you want to do a movie with a bodybuilder, you're not going to use a skinny person for that. So if you're making porn, you're going to choose persons of a particular type, a particular race, a particular size to portray what you want to portray, which is sex in porn. Sex in porn is not reality. Reality is totally different from that. Because if you think about it, a lot of women are guilty of this. You ask the young girl who going to school, who are looking at porn, about penis size, and their thing is about a big penis to satisfy them. That's in their mind. But in reality, that person, or the person who is maturing or growing up, will never ask a guy his penis size to have sex with him. It's only gay people who just do that. So you don't go into asking a question about something sexual of someone if you like them. Now, if after you liking the person, you engage in sexual intercourse with them or sexual play, and you're not satisfied by it, that is a reason for you to back away from the person. But if you are satisfied with whatever they're doing, it may be limited with whatever they can do, because you yourself are limited in your information. It's like a young person telling you, well, they know about sex. How could you know about sex when you have experienced the things that you're supposed to experience? And this is where we are guilty. Many a times we think, now I tell people sex is not theoretical. Don't ever believe what you read or see in a movie is what sex is all about. Sex is about chemistry. Sex is about connectivity. Sex is about that person, what they can do to your brain. Because the largest sex organ we possess is our brain. And when somebody can have sex with your brain, they can have sex with any body part. And this is where the difference comes in. So the young person developing, coming up in life, they will have certain feelings and certain things that are happening to them. Correct? They would explore that mentally. Most persons would have had sex with themselves before they had sex with someone else. Masturbation. Right? Fondling themselves, frotting, doing different things, even fooling around and petting with somebody. Some young ladies and guys, they experiment with family members, a cousin or whatever, just to know what it feels like. I'm talking about experimenting. It doesn't mean to say that's their sexuality, but it's something that they feel safe with. What happens later on is that you build your knowledge base with the things that you're actually doing with someone else. But do you know that every person you have sex with has a different rhythm, has a different energy, would do something different to you, would have sex with your brain differently? And not everyone will have sex with your brain, they'll have sex with you physically, but it may not be a stimulation of your brain. So it's a physical stimulation. You have an orgasm, or you may not have an orgasm. The person ejaculates, and that's the end of it. Sex done. But that's not what sex is about. Sex is that connectivity between the two persons and doing as much as they can do to enjoy as much as they can enjoy. That is what sex is about. You having that ability to enjoy all the trappings and all the things associated with it when you decide to do it. It shouldn't be forced upon you. It shouldn't be somebody telling you, well, you know you should be doing this or you have to do this. No. You must have the feelings to do certain things,
Or you
to get
also-
involved in something.
Oh, yeah.
And then you'll enjoy it to the maximum.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, 24 minutes before 10 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 102 FM with Sexologist Dr. Raj running in. And just to remind you once again that our lines are open for those of you who would love chatting with Dr. Raj. Feel free. 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. Now, for those of you who would love to send him a WhatsApp, maybe you have fear of hearing yourself on radio, well, you can always do that on his private mobile at 740-1961. And I can tell you, nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education, exclusively on Power 102 FM. Yeah.
I have a couple of questions to deal with here, and whoever is getting turned on by my voice, you know what to do. Play it yourself until I see you.
Wait until I see you.
Play with it, darling. What can I say? Good night, Dr. Raj. I'm tuned into your show tonight. I was wondering if you had any tips on anal sex and using butt plugs. Well, she said butt plugs, but it's not butt plug.
Okay,
it's
but
butt plug, B-U-T-T.
Okay, before going further, we have a caller on the line. Let's see. Hi, hello, and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. My name is Dr. Raj. What I want to hear what is the definition about sex.
Well, I was just about to
But
deal
we
with
want
that.
to give you a breakdown on what it's all about. So if you just listen to the radio, put the phone down, and you will get fulfilled.
No problem.
Okay, family?
You might get fulfilled in a little.
You may, you never know,
Anal sex is all part of sex, right? A guy liking anal sex does not make him gay. Whether he likes to be penetrated or to penetrate someone doesn't make you gay. A guy having sex with another guy also doesn't make you gay. That might just be a bisexual behavior. If you have feelings, the same feelings that you have for a woman, you have that feeling for a man instead of a woman, then you are homosexual. So you have that deep, sentimental type of feeling for the same sex, then that makes you homosexual. Not the penetrative act. The penetrative act in sex, anyone can do that. And let's think about it. Any guy who has ever experienced a good blowjob, it doesn't matter who doing the blowjob for you. It could be a woman with no teeth. It could be a woman with plenty teeth. It could be somebody ugly. It could be somebody nice, because you are watching their face. Once you get in a good blowjob, it's a good blowjob. And let me qualify that by saying something. There are places in the United States and Europe and England where you can go and stick your penis in a hole. It's called a glory hole, and somebody will suck it on the other side. You don't know if it's a man. You don't know if it's a woman. You don't know if it's an old lady. You don't know if it's a young girl. You have no idea.
Yeah, but I can't see, I saw that in a couple of movies as well. But I don't see the enjoyment in that. You want to
It is getting your dick sucked.
Yeah, but there's a line you want to see the
You
person.
don't care. When you're horny, when you're 95 years old, you're supposed to know this.
No,
No, when a person horny, and if they enjoy some, now you might be different because you want the play, you want the physical interaction. There are persons who don't want that physical interaction. It's like there are lots of guys out there who are not married, and they go and pay a prostitute to have sex maybe once a month, and they're fine with that. They are fine with paying for sex, going into the room, spending 5 minutes or 10 minutes or however short period of time it takes. They break and they go home. That's it. That's the end of sex for them until another month comes by. That's fine. Everyone has a different behavior when it comes to sex.
Yeah,
But glory hole, the whole thing about glory hole is that the point I'm trying to make, and not what you are trying to make, is that you don't care who's sucking your penis on the other side. That's all you want done. Isn't that so?
You just want to release.
Well, right. You want a release. No, it's like this. I tell women, when a man is pursuing you, he'll promise you the stars and the moon. He will promise you all kind of things. When he's next to you and he's getting horny for you, oh my God, he'll buy you anything with his mouth. Isn't that so?
Of course.
When he's making love to you, oh Lord, you're the best thing since sliced bread.
The sweetest thing.
Sweetest thing on this earth. And so as soon as he break, what happened?
I'll see you later.
See you later. How fast you could get away from there? He don't want to stick around because he has already gotten his satisfaction. He's not interested in anything about you anymore until he gets horny again. Unless he's in love with you. Unless he cares for you. Unless you're his wife. Unless you're his girlfriend. He don't care as long as he breaks. And that's the bottom line. And that's reality. That's the reality of sex. So getting back to anal sex. Anal sex is not new because there's nothing new under the sun when it comes to sex. Anal sex is written in all the books that you have on sex. Going as far back as the Kama Sutra, which is the oldest. There's no book older on sex than the Kama Sutra. None. But I challenge anyone to tell me a book older than Kama Sutra. Anyone out there. I can tell you of the origin of the Kama Sutra. I'm not talking about when it was written. I'm talking about the origin of it. Right? The origin of it. Okay? The Ananga Ranga, perfume garden. It doesn't matter what it is. Or what book that is written on sex. Anal sex has always been part of it. So, if you want to engage in anal sex, you do an enema. You make sure you have proper lubrication. You use something like the anal ease to ease the anal passage so that now there are two sphincter muscles, one on the outside and one on the inside. If you relax the outside and don't relax the inside, it's difficult to penetrate. You cannot be rough when you're doing anal sex. There are certain positions that you may think that is the position for anal sex. For example, the doggy position. It is not. The best position for anal intercourse and anal penetration for the first time is the person lying on their back, the gutty look back. Not the gutty look back, the rose fall position. Yeah. That is the best position for anal penetration. Of course, your penis must be turgid enough to penetrate. And as you penetrate it, you must look at the person to see reaction from the person as far as they're reacting to you when it comes to pain. Now, there are some persons who like the pain when it comes to anal intercourse. And there are persons who don't like the pain. There are some persons who engage in anal intercourse for the pain. Do you know that? They like the pain associated with it, so they like initial penetration. So they will tell the guy, come out and go back in, come out and go back in, because they like that pain that they get when it's going in.
That sensation.
That sensation. So, however you choose to do anal intercourse, first and foremost. Now, I've been talking about anal intercourse for 19 years on the station, even when it was illegal. Because anal intercourse was illegal until recently. You know that?
But I remember they had...
Right. For 19 years, I've been describing how to have anal intercourse, what to use, what to do, how to go about doing it, even when it was illegal. Because I always maintain, what is legal today will be legal tomorrow, what is illegal today will be legal tomorrow. And that's the bottom line. So if you enjoy anal intercourse, and how do you know where you're going to enjoy anal intercourse? By engaging in anal play. Anal play could be analingus, using your tongue on the anus, using your finger. That is the way you know if you're going to enjoy some sort of anal play. Now, anal intercourse, I saw somebody posted this up once. A woman will go for piercing, tattoos, all kind of thing. Go through all that pain, but when you want to penetrate, change anus, that is plenty.
Is that different?
Hypocrisy.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, it's now 15 minutes before 10 o'clock. Inside Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj Ramdanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
Y Volva presenta este domingo 10 de noviembre a partir de las 2 de la tarde a DJ Alfredo Rondón. Llaneras. Tambores. Y gaita en vivo. Precios especiales en bebidas. Carista, 10 TT. Hola, 3 por 25 TT. 2 regalos al público. Cancha de fútbol, mesa de ping pong, mesa de pool, cartas, dominó, gratis. Entradas, 40 TT. Niños, gratis. Dirección, Tunapuna, Macoya, dentro del centro de excelencia. A partir de las 2 de la tarde.
I knew the man is moving in mysterious.
Introducing
Me, boy?
Izzo. News travels fast. In today's fast-paced world, access to accurate, up-to-date information 24/7 is essential to making critical decisions in your life. Izzo is the Caribbean's newest and most innovative news source, giving you a Caribbean perspective on politics, crime, business, sport, entertainment, technology, and special investigative features. Izzo, IZZSO. Izzo, your information source, designed for your lifestyle. Download the Izzo app for iOS and Android devices, and visit our website at www.izzo.com. Izzo, news travels fast.
Before you act, think twice.
Think twice.
For a better quality of life.
Power 102 FM
And Boom 94 FM.
continue to advocate for and encourage better choices
When behind the wheel.
for a clean environment.
And now for personal wellness.
Introducing Think Twice Wellness.
Wellness is an active process and centers on becoming aware of and making choices toward a healthy and fulfilling life.
Wellness is more than being free from illness, but more so, it is a dynamic process of traveling on a path to change and growth.
Join us for daily tips on physical wellness,
Nutrition,
exercise,
disease and prevention,
emotional and psychological wellness,
happiness, self-care,
stress reduction, mental illness,
symptoms and prevention,
family wellness,
parenting,
relationships,
communication,
family dynamics, abuse,
financial wellness, savings.
budgeting, retirement, and so much more.
Think Twice Wellness
Think twice. Wellness.
for better quality of life. Brought to you by Power 102
Boom 94.
in association with the Gillette Group of Companies
Himalaya. The best care comes from nature.
and Computer and Controls.
Think twice.
Think twice. Be the best version of you.
Well, I can tell you that you are listening to the magic of sex education right here on Power 2.1 FM. We go to the phones. Thank you for holding and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening. Oh, that person left us. For those of you who would love to interact with Dr. Raj, our lines are open at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also send that to his private mobile at 740-1961. You can also send in your messages on our website at Power 102 FM. Yeah.
So many a times you find yourself engaging in something. Now the person asks about butt plugs.
Yeah.
Butt plugs are something that you can use to ease the anal sphincter muscle. It could be used over a period of time. It's something that you actually wear, so it plugs the butt. It starts off very thin, it bulges in the middle and gets back very thin down at the end, and then there's a piece that covers. So when you put a butt plug in, it locks into the anus. There are persons who wear it as a means of dominance, somebody dominating them and tell them you have to wear a butt plug. There are persons who wear it for sexual stimulation of the anus all the time. There are persons who wear it because they're in a relationship and it's part of the relationship. There are persons who wear it. There are different sizes of butt plugs now. There are butt plugs that are very thin. There are butt plugs that are medium size, and there are butt plugs that are very big. Most of the gay men buy very big butt plugs. As a matter of fact, they buy the kit with the biggest size butt plugs.
Okay, I want to go to the lines because this person has been holding for a while. Thank you and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Last week, I spoke about happy masters. Bring up your body and ask what things you can do. Can you enlighten critics and what type of happy masters
Yeah, Raj, you heard that?
Yeah, what he asked?
Last week you spoke about amino acid. Could you just pull the volume down on your...
Yeah, go ahead. Could you repeat, please? I was doing something else.
Yeah, you spoke about amino acid.
Uh-huh.
And it helps when you're lifting weights and stuff to grow your body.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on creatine?
Well, I don't ever encourage anyone to use creatine. So the most I will tell you that is wasting time and money. Your body manufactures creatine, you don't need it.
You don't need to.
No, you don't need it. I don't know why people would want to put something in your body that it manufactures. Then you're shutting down the natural manufacturing of it, or you put too much into your system and it's going to cause you more harm than good. Now, just as how we were talking about oral sex. Oral sex have no gender, you know. A mouth has no gender, you know. A mouth that can do the job has no gender. Now, if you come to the realization that it's a man doing it to you, you might react to the fact that it is a man. So if you go to a glory hole and a guy is on the other side, you have no idea, but it has no gender, the same way the anus have no gender. So a person liking to have anal sex it has nothing to do with being homosexual. It has to do with liking sex. And this is where we get tied up. Now, a vagina has to do with a heterosexual being, and a penis has to do with a heterosexual being if a man is with a woman and you're having sex. But if it's a homosexual thing, the penis also represents something that is homosexual, and the vagina represents something that is homosexual in a lesbian relationship. But as far as the anus and the mouth is concerned, it has no gender. But we get tired because society paints labels and put labels on people. And now, what I'm telling you here is nothing new, you know. Anal intercourse, vaginal intercourse, sexual position, BDSM, snuff, frotting, has all been part of sex from way back when, you know, since the caveman were drawing things on the wall, you know. There are drawings of all those things in sex, you know. If you go to the ancient temples of India, every depiction of sex that you could think about are on these temples. Thousands and thousands of depiction of things of a sexual nature are on the walls carved. From way back when, ancient time. So there's nothing new in sex. We think it's new. We think that we like to think that we are inventors of sex. Every generation think that I know more than the older generation. You think? You think the older generation didn't do the things that you did when they were your age? You think you doing a quickie in a bathroom is different from they doing it in a latrine long time? It's just the place, time, place, and circumstance. Where you had sex or where you having sex now might be different. You might be doing it on a marble counter because long time they didn't have marble counter. They might be doing it on a laminate counter, on a piece of board, but it's the same sex. But you will feel you more sophisticated than the older generation, or 2 generations back, or many generations back, because you have a sophisticated car. I do it on a leather seat. Or if you never do it on a leather bicycle seat. So if you think that anything is new in sex, it is not.
Those bicycle seats were specialized.
Oh, you remember the one with 2 springs in the back?
Oh, yeah. And they had 2 little holes if you decide that you want to go to the bathroom.
I thought it was 3. 1, 2.
You see, there you go. You know you're correct. 3.
So sex is about sensation. It's about chemistry. It's about the 2 persons involved, or the 3 persons involved, or the room of persons involved. I have heard many persons talk about orgies. And when you ask them to describe an orgy, they're having a threesome or a foursome, and they say there's an orgy. I say, you really know it's an orgy? You ever went in a room with about 25 people and everybody naked? And they're having sex? It doesn't matter who having sex with who? No, how people could do that? That same person who has been in a foursome condemning an orgy, you know.
Totally against it.
They're like, how could people do that? I say, well, how could you do a foursome? No, I don't judge it. I remember, when was it? It's about 10 years ago, Archangel and I, we went to a swingers club. So we were in we weren't in the booth. They have booths for different things. We were in the general area, but for the time I reached, take out your clothes, put it in the locker, and you're naked. So we went and we sat down among these 2 couples, one from New Jersey and the other couple was from South Florida. And while we are talking, in walks Ron Jeremy with 2 women. Savannah Sampson and I can't remember the other one. He walked in with 2 of them on his arm. So Ron looked at me and he said, Trini, how are you going? I said, okay, and I give him a thumbs up. So the guy sitting next to me is like, you know him? I Ron Jeremy. How you know him? I Ron Jeremy. So the wife is asking him, well, who's that guy? He said, I Ron Jeremy. I will tell you about him later. So he come, he say, which room you going in? I said, that room here, that's why you waiting out here. He said, okay, well, I'll sit down and wait it on you. So here the guy, introduce me then. I said, don't let me go in the room, you go introduce yourself. He said, no, I said, Ron, meet so and so. He tell me, shake his hand, come back. He said, so you really don't Ron Jeremy? I said, yes. Gone in the room, we had the time and all. So Ron said, where stay? Told him the hotel. Say, what room? I think it was 509. He started to laugh. He said, I'm in 511, you know. I said, you serious? He said, I'm in 511.
Almost next door.
That is next door. In hotels are numbered, odd numbers on one side and even number on the other side. And there's a connecting door. So, we had our time. Went on the dance floor, met somebody in the dance floor, pick up the person, we went back to the hotel. Having a good time. It was about 4:30 in the morning. Clubs close at 4. Especially swingers club, they close at 4. 4:30 in the morning. I on the bed, Angel, few of us. So I opened the door, you know, knocking louder. So okay, I come off the bed, I leave them to do the thing, and I go on. When I watch through the people, run with 2 women, and they say, Trini, open the door. Open the door, come in. Tell the 2 women. He say, I'll go on that bed. I go and talk to my friend. And him and I sat and talked for 2 hours. We sat and all talk about reminisce our past, the things we do, things like that. And then woman on the bed. Just leave the 4 of them on the bed. We left them on the bed till 6:30. From about 4:30 to about 6:30. Had no interaction with them. No matter what they do. But you see that is psychological game you play. There's a psychological game in sex also. That's why I tell you, if somebody could screw you in your brain, it's different from screwing you in your vagina or your anus. It's different. Around 6:30, no time for breakfast because it's buffet style breakfast, and the company that we are staying with, they arrange everything and whatnot. This is something elaborate and lavish, eh? Say, here what, ladies, time to eat. No! Time to eat. We stop everything, went down, ate, come back up. Nighttime they had a show. Me, Ron, Savannah, Angel, cousin Steve, Mariposa, Ayana Angel. Around this table, big table. Ron is sitting next to me, the women are sitting there, the guys. Cousin Steve sitting next to me, opposite me. Ron do so. My elbow, he said, coming back now. So where you going? Now we come with a big plate of food. Rest it on the table, hit my elbow and said, coming back down. He left us there, walked to the toilet and got a blowjob from 2 women and come back here. Because he's Ron Jeremy. Because he's Ron Jeremy.
No, I know for a fact that he big.
No, because he is Ron Jeremy. He could leave a table with all these beautiful women around, porn stars and whatever have you. Leave a table and just go to the bathroom and get a blowjob from 2 women and come back. That's the power of the man. Another time we went to Toronto, long line, people all over coming for autograph from Ron Jeremy. Yeah, he did a t-shirt at that time called Over 1 Million Serve. You know, like a certain burger place have over 1 billion serve. He has something over 1 million serve. So he see me in the line. And I go on the security, I think stopping you. He said, no, let him come in. I cross over the barricade, went in inside. I said, what hotel is staying in? I said, I'm Mississauga. He said, well, I don't know Toronto, you better check out it. But those are the things, you see, those are the things that you do. Even recently I was in Vegas and he was walking through Hard Rock Hotel with his security, 6 fellas around him. And when he spot me, he stopped. And I walk up directly to him. So one of the guy was like this. He said, no, that's my friend, We talk. And he's going to do a presentation. You know. He's going to do a presentation. But that's the kind of connectivity you have. But what I'm saying is that they know I've always been truthful. Anything that I do. They know the character of me, and I know their character. They know when they're in line with me what happens, what goes on, the things that we would do, the things that we wouldn't do. So when I hear people talking about things now, I just have to rock back and say, that's your experience. Good. Leave it there. I have nothing to say. Nothing, especially when persons here tell you about something that is happening different places, and they feel it's this big thing. I said, been there, done that, no longer want to do that.
You're through the middle already.
Been there, done that, no longer want to do that. There's no interest in that. Absolutely none. As a matter of fact, I'll be seeing around this at the end of this month. Yeah. Sure, seeing him.
He put on a lot of weight too.
Oh, well, when they gave him the award for longevity in porn, They started off by saying, here is a gentleman who could have sucked his own dick at 19, which he could have done. He used to suck his own dick. He did that in a porn.
Ron?
He sucked his own dick when he was 19 years of age in a porn. In his first porn, he sucked his own dick. And now we cannot see his dick, which is true.
No, as a matter of fact, you need a binoculars.
No, we cannot see the belly big, sir.
Yeah.
But he don't give a shit.
So recently in one of these
B movies.
no.
He does that in normal movies too. The one with Jason Statham. There was one where you had to keep running at a certain pace.
Yeah.
He was in that. He made an appearance in that.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, it's now 2 minutes after 10 o'clock. More now than ever, we are simply putting the fun back into sex education exclusively on Power 102 FM with sexologist Dr. Raj and our Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located out of St. Augustine. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
Power 102 FM digital with the Power 102 app.
You know, people when you look up Ron Jeremy right now. Who's Ron Jeremy? Boy?
Yeah. People type in like people type in fast. Some people type in so fast, some of the fingers going
Yeah,
out.
who's Ron Jeremy? Boy, Ron Jeremy. He's the number one porn star ever. He's bigger than John Holmes. Not in terms of size. John Holmes was 13 inches, he's 9. No, talk about size of penis. He's bigger, not in size of penis. He's bigger in popularity. He has done over 10,000 movies. That's why I pull it up. We keep, I don't know who's your friend. Oh, would I know who's your friend? I am seeing your friend tomorrow. Ooh, is that a threat?
Power 102 digital with the Power 102 app, social media, and Power102FM.com. Power102FM.com.
Oh, her.
Power 102 FM.
Oh, okay.
campaign
She was nice.
1441. All-inclusive Saturdays.
She into the same thing?
102 FM with the best music and personalities to power your day.
Ooh.
All day on a Saturday.
We having fun tomorrow then. We are?
Sir Charles,
No,
Bass, DJ Maggie, Gayland, and the ultimate DJ Shane. All-inclusive Saturdays on Power 102 FM. The power of music. All-inclusive Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. all day on a Saturday on Power 102. In Power
So she said everything on oh, he has one picture with him and I on this phone. I saw it last month, 2 years ago. I'll see him at the end of the month, so.
I want to tell you that when it comes to nighttime radio and sex education, we are always one step ahead with the guru of sex education here in TNT and in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj our Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located at St. Augustine. Folks, don't forget our lines are open. If you love chatting with Dr. Raj, I know you can interact with him. Maybe you have a sexual problem, right? But you need to express to someone. Well, here he is, the guru of sex education. All you've got to do is give him a call at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile at 740-1961. But I remind you that this program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. Yeah.
To that other sexy lady who is getting turned on, and she said that she's not only getting turned on by my voice, but also she wants me to look at the camera. I'm looking at the camera.
Gasp for more than that. sex.
See, you can't ask her for more anything, you know.
No.
You'll get too much.
Getting turned on by your voice.
And she wants me to look at the camera.
And you were just speaking
Is your hand between your legs? Let me find out. Let me know.
Right?
Let's find out.
Let your fingers zoom.
Ooh.
Okay.
Why some people so wicked? I'm starting to get pictures.
Oh, you're getting pics.
I'm getting pics. I love it.
Beautiful.
Wet pics too. I saw it both times, darling.
Oh.
She thought I didn't see it on the other thing. She said it somewhere else.
Oh, she sent it somewhere. So you're still having
Ooh. What is this? Today's my lucky day or something?
What is that?
No, I think today is one of my luckiest day.
Maybe.
I'll tell you why. Today was one of the most... What the hell? Oh my God. Why you all sending all these porn things for me? Or is a programmer trying to do? Today was one of the most stressful days I've had at the office. Stressful like that. So much so that I thought things would just go off the chart.
No, but sometimes I'm afraid to
But
ask.
wait, no, stressful in terms of things going wrong and work and everything. And about 2 o'clock, suddenly got a message from, well, she just sent me a message immediately now. You see, I'm not telling anything that is not true, pretty angel. As soon as I started, we connected. And my whole day changed. Everything just went smoothly after that.
You know, sometimes you're in
We
that
actually, anyway, let me
And
not say nothing, I'll get in trouble.
And somebody says something to you that is pleasant, it changes your whole appearance.
If you show me a vagina, don't block it. Don't close your leg, open your leg. These are the kind of picture I'm getting right now. Yeah, so how Ron Jeremy and I became good friends. We had a competition with women at one time. And one of the girls really liked me. But she was the sexiest in the whole. I mean, the sexiest woman there was her. So I told her, I said, Ron likes you. And you know he wants to have sex with you. She said, I'm not having sex with him. I don't like it. I said, but you can't tell the guy you don't like it. She said, okay, I'll teach him a lesson. She went and she sat down next to him. And she teased him. And then she whispered something in his ear. And that man took out a piece of paper and wrote on the paper, I wasn't Dr. Raj yet. He said, Raj, you're number one. Ron Jeremy. And he handed that. He said, you win. You're number one. So I asked her afterwards, what it is you told him? She said, I told him what he didn't want to hear. I said, well, tell me. She said, no, I'm not going to tell you that. I just told him what he did not want to hear. That man wrote, I still have that paper in my office, you know. Raj, you're number one. Ron Jeremy.
No, but he's still he's still
No, he's still
doing well in the industry.
Well, he do more guest appearances and things now. He don't do actual movies.
No, because it will take him a while to get where he's going.
Mary want to know something. Mary, girl, I can't answer that. If I answer that, I'll have to come by you and do something that you don't want me to do, so I can't answer that.
Well, you come, okay, put in the cart in front of the horse there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so getting back to what I was talking about. When you, and this was the truth, when she told him, afterwards I found out, it took me a few years to find out what she told him, because we had about 2 or 3 encounters afterwards, and she did tell me. But she told him the truth. And that's what made him write that. Raj, you're number one.
And that coming from family.
Well,
you know what I mean?
That's endorsement.
That's
and that has nothing to do with sex, you know. That has to do with how you handle things. I mean, you can't beat Ron Jeremy in sex. I don't care what anybody says or anything like that.
He's a master.
I have seen that man going on to have sex for 2-3 hours. He's just a beast. Like when we used to do porn in LA. We go on the set. Depending on the actors. Do you remember the couple I brought to Trinidad? They came in the studio and they had sex right there? Right in the corner there? On this table, yes. On this table. Right. And one of the angels was having sex with them. Remember that? They were doing a movie in Beverly Hills. And who was the director? It's a famous director. Can't remember his name right now. Very, very famous. And he told me, he said, I want you to help me direct this scene. So I went down there early in the morning and I looked at the layout and whatnot, and I said, okay, we'll do this, we'll do that. He said, right, good idea. Now they have what you call the fluffers. That the fluffers are the guys and girls who keep the guy hard, keep the woman wet. That's their job, to keep perform blowjob and jerk off and whatnot. The fluffers, that's their work. Now, the woman who's in the movie, she's going to tell the guy, I'm not your girlfriend. I don't have to be turned on for you, though. I get paid for this. You better get turned on then. So, we are putting together this scene and we're doing all these things. And there was one actress there who looked exactly as a famous singer. I mean, when you look at her at a side glance, it's like, no, it can't be her. And she did the part. Now, she was specially paid for one part, one scene. She came in with a limo, walked in the door, took off all her clothes and said, what do I have to do? Where do I... And got the part done, out of it. As quickly as that. I didn't even know that was in the script. Ed something, yes. I remember his name. But those are the kind of things that happen on a porn set. You have no idea. Remember, there's about 30-something people in the room and house and whatnot, doing all kind of different things. There's your gaffer, there's the guy with the boom mic, there's the fluffers on the side, there's the person that spray the lube, all these different people, but you don't see them. Even if there's a mirror in the room, they'll film it in such a way that you will not see all these people in the room. But you must be able to get an erection, have sex in front of all these people and be recorded also. Many a times, like for a 5-minute scene, the guy might take 2 hours to film a 5-minute scene. Because yes, yeah. As a matter of fact, to do 10 minutes of porn, it takes 2 hours of filming. You know what time he loses his erection? And everybody will be like, oh, cut. Let's go again. And he said, give me 5 minutes. And he got in that corner, trying to get it up.
Kind of pop in.
But I thought you saw that when we were doing the one at the club.
No,
you weren't there?
No, I wasn't at the club. I knew they were at the club at that particular day.
Oh, well, you didn't come?
No.
You would have seen that scene.
No, I didn't come.
Oh, you were at the other club where we had the orgy upstairs.
Ambassador,
yeah, you called him.
No, I mean...
You called them and see if somebody go and check on them.
Not his family, so... Anyway, folks...
Somebody said the neighbor think they're going loco because they're only laughing.
They're going loco, right?
Yeah, because they're getting into the talk.
Anyway, folks, it's now 14 minutes after 10 o'clock, and I can tell you, this is what it's all about. Nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education on a Friday evening, right here on Power 102 FM with sexologist Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located on St. Augustine. Folks, don't forget our lines are open. You know something on your mind bothering you sexual, right? Well, I can tell you. All you've got to do is give us a call at 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile at 740-1961. This program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance are therefore advised. You're listening to a program. Oh yeah. You're listening to a program that's informative, educational, and of course entertaining. Just got a little piece of the entertaining part there. Why?
Very entertaining. Very, very entertaining.
Yeah. As we were saying.
Things to make you go,
Oh, yeah.
Somebody asked another question and I kind of...
You breaks any other?
No, I don't breaks anything in matter. Somebody asked a question and it just flew by me. So, okay, good night. Does a penis pump create a decrease in rigidity while helping to improve overall length? The answer to that is no, but last week I explained that we have no reservoir of blood in our body. Therefore, you need to take things to build your blood. You need to take amino acid. Otherwise, you will have a penis that has expanded by 20%, and your blood remains the same, so you're not going to get a turgid erection. So that is one of the things in the maturing process. Good night, you guys. Always listening, just messaging from Anna from Rio Claro, boy. Hey, AA and family. Well, I can't say too much family, no, just one. Yeah. You forget AA?
Yeah.
I know you forget her. Rio Claro.
Of course. I could
Behave
never-
yourself, the man.
No, I could never forget those people. Nice people.
Very nice,
Nice
beautiful,
people.
beautiful
come from
people.
Europe. Oh yeah.
So I answered that. What else do I have to answer? There's another question here somewhere. Let's find it. Sashi, what can I say? Thank you.
I'll answer for Tashi. You're welcome.
And Izzy, for those of you sending pictures of between your leg, don't close the leg and lock it off, open. That's my fetish, photographs. It's my number one thing, I love photographs. But I like taking photographs also.
But is there any particular photography that you like? You like legs?
No, I like nudity. I like scenery. I like putting nudity against scenery. I like doing porn because it's my forte. I could conjure up an image and situation in 2 seconds and make something happen. That's what I'm good at. I'm very good at that, and I've been recognized for that. I like nature. So nature, scenery, water, flowers. Well, I love flowers. I photograph flowers all the time. That's my thing.
I know you like nature.
I know I like flowers. I will go anywhere and just go crazy with flowers. Like when I was in Guernsey, that's what I was doing, shooting flowers. It doesn't matter where it's at. I go out, cold morning, wet morning, snowing morning, rainy morning, I go out and photograph flowers. And having a lot of beautiful women there too.
Well, I would hope so.
Boy, they have some of the most beautiful women you've ever seen.
Eh?
What? Guernsey? Have to go back.
What's
Have
the
to.
name of the place?
Guernsey.
Guernsey, where's that?
That's between England and France. It's a little island out in the English Channel.
Somebody could tell you go to France then. And
No.
you could get to
From there?
Guernsey.
Yeah, you could take a ferry over.
Yeah, I thought so.
So,
Looking for flowers.
I love Guernsey. It's a place I have to go back.
Uh-huh.
I definitely, maybe next year I'll go and spend a couple of days. Guernsey is so nice. I get goosebumps when I think about it. And food, whew, food like that. Everywhere you turn are restaurants. So, so that's what I like doing. I enjoy photography. I enjoy looking at beautiful women. I enjoy taking out pictures. That's why I have a multitude of cameras around me all the time. I have, as a matter of fact, one of my cameras just spoiled, my Nikon D80. That's hurting me, boy.
The Nikon what? What?
Nikon D80. It's a DSLR.
Oh yes, yeah.
Just conk out on me. So today I asked someone to get me a Nikon D750 because the lens from the D80 can fit the D750. So it makes no sense to have about 25 lens and it cannot fit on any camera.
No.
So you get a camera that could take the
And
lens.
especially with your kind of photography, you need something to fit. Right? Am I correct in saying that? I hear your family.
What's that? Because somebody asking me a question here.
No, well, I realize it. But now I realize you're getting into your questions.
No, not question. You see, I don't get into questions when I have to concentrate. I get into the pictures.
With your pics, yeah.
When you're concentrating.
No.
Sitaram, Dr. Raj, also Junior Chanmati here locked on. Nice broadcast. Thank you very much. So Chanmati is listening to you. You see, Junior? You're a lucky fella.
Who's that?
Oh, that's it already, right? These two ladies tell me they're taking me out tonight. Yeah.
Are they?
Both of them taking me out tonight.
You've got to be
Tonight is
kidding.
my birthday.
Tonight?
I celebrate.
Rude.
How is that being rude?
It's my birthday.
Oh, sorry.
How birthday?
Sunday.
Happy
So,
birthday.
well, Sunday is your birthday. Tonight is my birthday. You taking me
It's
out
my
tonight.
birthday weekend.
It's your birthday weekend.
Yes.
But you still taking me out tonight.
I mean, you driving, so technically.
Okay, I drive.
Well, you never get
But,
there. Then
but,
you, no, then you got
but
stuff.
the fact is that you paying the bill. All right. Hey,
Okay.
Champ, she said okay.
Yeah.
How you like that? It's food and drink.
I have.
Or what?
And
Yeah.
She hungry.
you hungry?
For what?
Pizza.
Don't call no name, eh? We don't give anybody free advertisement on this
Not even
program.
my own business.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you have a eaten place. Stop that.
I feel I know which one it is. I know.
Which one?
The one that flies in the bucket.
No, don't go there. Hey, Kelly, how are you, my darling? I haven't heard from Kelly in such a long time.
No?
No, Kelly was
I haven't
supposed.
heard that name though.
Kelly?
Yeah.
I don't. You know Kelly. I think you know Kelly.
I know Kelly.
Yes. Kelly, I haven't. Ian, how are you? Ian is in Arizona, is? Ian, where are you again? Arizona? Somewhere close to. I'll remember in a while. Not Arizona. I'm wrong. What state is that?
Atlanta.
No. Ian, remind me now, please. Leslie Ann is on, Sharmila is on, Valini is on, Lisa is on, Kelly is on, Arizona, yes. Good memory. I met him 3 years ago. Ian is 3 years ago, 2 years ago.
I didn't start with an A.
How you know that?
Yeah,
And he works at the Grand Canyon, or the wife works at the Grand Canyon. One of them works at the Grand Canyon. Ian has a nice baby. Recently, his wife and him, both of them had a beautiful baby. Rosanna is on. I haven't seen her for a while. Hema. Susanna. You're not on. You only study that you're hungry. Order some food for you. Tell security. No, that'll take away from what we have to do later, right? Because we want your bill to be just right. Ooh, somebody said when. Now, Wednesday's her birthday. Would you like to celebrate?
I mean, she can look in.
Well, right. Well, would you like to celebrate with her? She's hot and sexy, you know. I could tell you that. Eh? She's one of the angels, actually. She used to be one of the angels on the program. Junior, you wouldn't even remember her if I told you.
No, you don't have a short memory. But then I believe it's snowing outside now anyhow.
No, you wouldn't remember. She was here with Cutie Pie and who boy? It was Cutie Pie and some other person. She was there with Cutie Pie. So far, 3 years, boy. Woo!
Time flies.
Iron 3 years. Wow! I'll be in Las Vegas next week, so let's hook up. Give me a call.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, 24 minutes after 10 o'clock, you are listening to the magic of sex education exclusively on your #1 all-round station. You're listening to a station that's reliable and effective. Power 102 FM, nobody does better what we do best. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
You taking that thing back home or?
Power 102 FM Digital.
If you want something to drink, I'll give you some tea. It have no alcohol in it. Keep you warm. Make hair grow on your chest. Does it make hair grow on your chest?
That matters are done in good order and in accordance with our own procedure, fell down some point, and we would like to determine where they stand.
Power 102 FM Campaign 1441.
This is the data of the deaths of H1N1 for 2013, 2014, and 2015. And let me see who lied to the country. Data unavailable. Do you know what that means? It means they hid the data.
Power 102 Digital.
If a data is unavailable, it means that you cannot get it from the National Public Health Lab. But to accuse the then Prime Minister of deliberately hiding data is a serious accusation, and it's unfair.
Power 102 Digital. With the Power 102 app, social media, and Power102FM.com. Power102FM.com. Power 102 FM, Campaign 1441. All-inclusive Saturdays on Power 102 FM with the best music and personalities to power your day, all day on a Saturday. Sir Charles, Bass, DJ Maggie, Gayland, and the ultimate DJ Shane. All-inclusive Saturdays on Power 102 FM. Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. all day on a Saturday on Power 102, empowering you.
Introducing Izzo. News travels fast. In today's fast-paced world, access to accurate, up-to-date information 24/7 is essential to making critical decisions in your life. Izzo is the Caribbean's newest and most innovative news source, giving you a Caribbean perspective on politics, crime, business, sport, entertainment, technology, and special investigative features. Izzo. IZZSO. Izzo. Your information source, designed for your lifestyle. Download the Izzo app for iOS and Android devices. And visit our website at www.izzo.com. Izzo. News travels fast.
Well, I can tell you that we are giving our listeners what they want and expect from a good radio program when it comes to sex education, exclusively on Power 102 FM. A station that's reliable and effective, with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located at St. Augustine. Don't forget, folks, our lines are open 222-8255. 612-8255. Those of you sending in your WhatsApp or your text message, very private, on Dr. Raj's mobile phone. You can also do that at 740-1961. You can also send in your messages on our website at Power 102 FM. Yeah.
I have somewhere for you all to go next week, Sunday, the 17th. It's not your birthday, it's 1 week after your birthday. You listening? You're going? Anyway, you have to go. You know, it's not like you're not going. Music on the Meadows with Kavish, the band, featuring... Who is featuring, boy? Nigel Rojas.
Well, he's good. That's nice family.
Gillian Moore, Soliman, Stephen Roach, Michael O'Brien, and it starts at 3. This is at Green Meadows, Santa Cruz. Gate open at 3. So please, folks, I'll be there. Music on the Meadows. Well, we will be there. Right? Walk with money because I have to buy food too. Food fair, local attraction, artisan booth, fun zone for kids. Do you have any children to carry? Okay, nobody have children to carry. Good. Junior, you should really come to this.
You should really come.
No, you should really go to this.
Oh, go, okay.
I was meaning coming, I have to carry you.
No,
So, for those who are interested in going to Music on the Meadows with Kavish, the band, or Kavish could play any kind of music with a rock background, eh? He's my nephew, so that's why he's getting a free plug.
Wow.
So,
family, they have me beaten.
He's my nephew. Must give him a plug. 354-8019. Again, the number 354-8019 or 3944-336. 3944-336 or 368-8586. Look at numbers. Are real numbers, boy. I'll send out a broadcast with it. So those of you on my broadcast list will get it and know that you can go to Music on the Meadows.
On the Meadows. No, you can't ask for more than that, right?
It's a great entertainment.
But recently he performed at Movie Town, right? The
Kavish?
Fiesta,
Oh yeah, that was, this was packed.
Yeah.
It was jam-packed. I was there. Made sure I was there. It was fantastic. He's such a wonderful performer. And he's trained under R.D. Berman, you know.
R.D.
Berman, the guy who did the soundtrack for Slumdog Millionaire.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. He's out of India, Chennai State.
Well, I can tell you that when it comes to nighttime radio, we are always one step ahead with a beautiful blend of programming right here on Power 102 FM. You are on the inside of Sexplosion with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. You're listening to a program that's informative, educational, and of course entertaining exclusively on Power 102 FM. Don't forget all the lines are open at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. Yeah.
Marissa is on. So getting back to what I was talking about. So when you establish the truth about your sexuality, your sexual behavior, the things that you enjoy, and you are truthful with your partner, enjoying these things, all you can do is better yourself as a person. You make yourself more comfortable. You create the atmosphere where you can actually enjoy whatever is taking place because the person understands your needs, hopefully. You react to whatever the person is doing to you. Level of satisfaction, even though you may not engage in everything that you want to engage in at that time, but there's a level of satisfaction both mentally and physically that will give you a sense of well-being, of being satiated sexually, and being able to look forward to the next session. But if you're having sex, and at the end of that session, it's like, oh boy, I hope we have a next session like this. And you're not looking forward to the next session. Something is lacking. You have failed, or your partner has failed to do whatever it is you need. That's why a lot of times when a person is into BDSM takes different stage. The first stage is developing the trust line. The first thing is having a safe word. If you don't have a safe word in BDSM, you're in trouble. Don't tell the person, stop, it's hurting too much. That is not a safe word. As a matter of fact, a practitioner of BDSM will not react to that. They will react to a safe word and a safe word only. So you have a safe word, whatever the safe word may be.
Yeah.
Secondly, you establish your boundaries, you establish that level of trust. Then you get into the sensory organs. Sight, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling. You deal with those things. Because once you deal with those 5 sensory organs, the 5 elements comes into play. Once the 5 elements comes into play, your body is interacting. So the whole sexual act is now in the universe. It incorporates the 5 senses, the 5 known senses and the 5 internal senses, and the elements of the universe, which you are made up of.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? There's an interaction now. The chemistry is developing within you. It's like cooking something. You know, when you're cooking a meal, the beauty in cooking a meal is putting all the ingredients at the right time. You know? If you put the ingredients at the wrong time, you get a different taste. You know?
Yeah.
Anybody who can cook will tell you that. You don't put the oil after you chunk in the pot. You must have the oil before.
Yeah.
Correct? Well, you can't cook. Who can cook here? You can't cook. And she like to eat.
Where's you get fried chicken without oil?
But once you do the steps, now, when we talk about the elements that your body is made up of, it doesn't matter what religion you belong to, what belief system you belong to. We know it's earth, fire, water, air, and ether. Ether is space. That's what ether is. Ether is space, nothingness. Because we all come from nothingness. God came from nothingness.
Yeah.
From darkness came light. From nothingness came God. So those are the 5 elements. But you're talking about the 5 senses. Then you're talking about within you, you have your consciousness. You have all those things coming into play. Your subconscious mind. The feelings that you get. You know that butterfly in your stomach and all those things are senses within you. You know? So you have the development of the person getting into the BDSM with the trust. Developing the trust, getting into this faction. It's always supposed to go from base and step up, step up, step up, step up, crescendo. Now, crescendo may not be everything that you want to enjoy, you know. Crescendo in your first session might be base, step up, step 1, crescendo.
Okay.
Next time, base, step up, step 1, crescendo. Third time, base, step up, step 1, step 2, step 3, crescendo. So it could be any combination, providing that your practitioner know what he is doing or what she is doing. The trust factor is also something that has to come into play. Because if you distrust the person, if you are scared or thinking something negatively going to happen to you, you're not going to enjoy whatever is taking place. Because you are going to be on the defensive. And then you get into the flight or fright mode. It's like somebody was getting an interview recently in my office and they look at the 2 doors to run out the door. And if anybody knows about that, if they're paying attention, they would know.
Yeah.
They literally looked at the 2 doors to run out the office. Yeah. Because I asked a question of the person panicked and they look at one door and then she look at the other door and dead answer.
Yeah.
But that's how you know a person's behavior. You put them in an uncomfortable situation to see what they're going to do. It's called flight or fright mode. She was frightened and she looked at flight. She looked at that door and she looked at the other door and she was like, how could he ask me that? But that was the question. The question was to see how you'll react to something. That's psychology, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Missed the flight, eh? Good thing she wasn't your hostess.
You'll be checking out. But it is what you do. So if you're in a BDSM situation and the person is doing something to you where it's frightening you, where you're wondering if you're going to be hurt to a point where you can't explain maybe a scar on your skin, you are going to get frightened. So it's no longer about pleasure, it's about preservation of life. It's about preservation, so how could it be something that is pleasurable? It will no longer be something that is pleasurable. And that's the difference. That is understanding the behavior of human nature, the behavior of a person. Okay, let's say for example, the person is blindfolded. Yeah. Now, in BDSM, you look at the facial expression. You look at the eyes tell you a lot of things. The eyes are the window to the soul, but the eyes also talks to you. If the eyes are blindfolded, the eyes are no longer talking to you. What is talking to you now? The mouth, the nose, how it flares, the throat, how the person is swallowing. You have to pay attention to those things. So you know whether the person is enjoying it or they are not enjoying it. If it's something that they want to continue or they don't want to continue. That's why when they have the safe word and they use the safe word, you stop immediately. You stop. You might be on a downstroke and the person uses the safe word, you just stop, you stop. Because you do not want to break that trust. Now when you start again, you may come back to that point where the person used the safe word, but they're no longer using it because they realize that they could trust you. Because when you went overboard, they used the safe word and you stopped. So they're telling themselves, if I reach here and I got this level of pleasure out of it, maybe if I go a little further, I'll get more. Because it's about addiction. You're addicted to pain. You're addicted to being used in a particular way sexually. Obviously, you want to see how far you can go with it. That's obvious. You want to take it as far as you can go with whatever is being done, so you get the maximum pleasure out of it. Now, a session with BDSM may last an hour. Let's say 2 hours to be safe. But that may be 2 hours of your life that you may never replicate again. So if it is pleasurable to you and satisfactory to you, that is 2 hours well spent. If it is not, it is 2 hours wasted. But you do not know when you're going to replicate that other 2 hours, because not every time you have sex it is the same way. No. Sex might be great tonight and it may not be great in the morning. No. So you will not replicate that again. That's why when you are in a situation, something of a sexual nature, you have to make sure you get the maximum out of it, provided that your partner understands that and he or she is willing to go that distance with you.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, 20 minutes before 11 o'clock, I tell you, this is what it's all about. Sexplosion, for those of you who are listening to Sexplosion for the very first time, Sexplosion is featured here on Power 102 FM every Friday evening from 9 p.m. with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located out in St. Augustine, and there he treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. Just to remind you once again that our lines are open. If you would love chatting with Dr. Raj, feel free. 222-8255, 612-8255. And if you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message because you are a bit shy of hearing your voice on the radio, well, you can also do that on his private mobile 740-1961. You're listening to a program that's informative, educational, and of course entertaining exclusively on Power 102 FM. Yeah.
Yes. I wonder what that yes is about, right?
Who?
Camille.
Camille.
Yes, she says yes. Good night, Dr. Raj. Do all women have the ability to squirt? No, all women do not have the ability to squirt. As a matter of fact, those with the ability to squirt will feel as though they're about to pee. Most women, if they're having sex and they think that they're about to pee, you think they're going to continue? They think that they're going to embarrass themselves. But if you get the sensation as though you're feeling to pee, you're going to squirt. But when we started off, you remember 19 years ago, I used to say that 1 in 10,000 women will squirt.
Yeah.
Do you know that the figure has changed?
Changed.
From my observation,
Yeah.
from my experience, I will tell you now in Trinidad, 1 in 1,000 women squirt. No, Trinidad are plenty squitters.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's no longer 1 in 10,000. It's no longer. And a lot of women have the ability to squirt, but they're just afraid that they're going to embarrass themselves. Because the sensation of squirting is very close to peeing. Remember, when you're making love to a woman, she lubricates naturally. So you have natural lubrication. You're performing oral sex on a woman, she's going to lubricate more. You're doing penetrative sex, she may dry up, she may lubricate, she may feel sweet, she may feel so sweet that she have orgasm or she have multiple orgasms. As the French say, la petite mort, the small death. That's what they describe it as. It's a small death. An orgasm is a small death. Death, to die, not owing somebody. So you have those sensations taking place. Then you have the multiple orgasmic woman that could have many orgasms before the big crescendo. And then she's exhausted and she's ready to sleep, like the man. But the highest form of an orgasm is squirting. Now, some women gush and they feel they're squirters. And some guys will say, you see, I make you squirt? That is not squirting. When a woman gushes out, is something different from squirting. Now, I can guarantee I can make any woman gush. Because gushing is a technique. It's a deep technique. You could make any woman gush as long as you take your time. You can make a woman gush in 5 minutes. It's not going to happen. It takes a while for a woman to gush. Now, when a woman gushes, that means a lot of liquid comes out of the vagina. What is this liquid? It's a mixture of liquid from the vagina. It's from the Bartholin gland. It is from inside of the vagina. It's a secretion that she's letting out. So it's a lot of wetness that is coming out. That is gushing. That's why sometimes you see this white frothy thing coming out of the vagina or this slime coming out of the vagina. That's gushing. Squirting comes from the urethra, not the vagina. Squirting comes out from the urethra. So when a woman is about to squirt and you have your fingers inside of the vagina, you feel a swelling. And that swelling starts to push against your finger. That's when most women will tell you, oh God, I'm going to pee. Stop. They're not going to pee. Because remember, it's coming out of the urethra. So it's the same sensation as peeing or urinating as squirting. And when a woman squirts, okay, if a woman buttocks is here and her vagina is here and she's gushing, whatever comes out will run on this table. If a woman buttocks is here and her vagina is facing that wall, she's going to hit that wall. No two ways about it. She's going to hit that wall. That's what squirting is all about. So when persons tell you, I make you squirt, you can't make a person squirt. She must be a squirter to squirt, first of all. You could help she to squirt. It's like telling a woman, I'll make you have an orgasm. If the woman cannot have an orgasm, how are you going to make her have an orgasm? You can help her to have an orgasm. But because of our ego, we just say, well, I can make you come, I can make you do this, I can make you do that. No, you cannot make somebody do it. You help them to do it. So the very same thing with squirting. Depending on how you manipulate that sac that is filled up with liquid, and of course, if it's coming from the urethra, it's mixed, urine is mixed with it. You can't get away from that. Women don't have a Y valve. We have a Y valve. All men have a Y valve. When sperm is coming out through the vas deferentiae, and it's coming through the urethra, there's a valve that locks off your urine from coming into the, because urine kills sperm. Always remember that. Urine kills sperm. So urine cannot come with sperm in a man. When a woman is squirted, it's a mixture of all the body fluids. So if you don't like it, don't let it get in your mouth. And don't let it beat you down. If you like it, wet it down. You have that too?
Have a rag. Anyway, folks, taking your 14.
Somebody says curtain feel heavenly.
And that's right. 14 minutes before 11 o'clock, Sexplosion on this Friday evening with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. Yeah.
Somebody sent me a message. Raj, this is so and so my other number. Could you tell me who? I know about 5 persons with that name. So please tell me who it is.
Other?
My other number.
You know 5 persons by the name of Other?
No, I know 5 persons with that name that he put. You want me to tell you the name? It could be a woman. It could be both female and male.
You know what you're making me sound like?
Doc, is there a live stream for Sexplosion? Didn't I send out that in broadcast? Of course.
Oh, yeah.
It's on Facebook and it's also on our app.
And on our website as well.
I've been off the grid for a while. I got home, so I came out of the car and the reception in the radio isn't great. Go to our app. I'm surprised the whole of Trinidad don't have that app.
Wow. Yeah, and
412 FM Trinidad.
yeah. I don't know what part of the world you are.
I listen to it all the time. In the morning, I have my car radio stuck on 412, and as soon as I get up, I put on the app and I continue listening.
Yeah.
So I don't miss the morning program. I like listening to the morning program for some reason.
Very interesting.
Very educational.
Yeah.
So, when you are engaging in any type of sexual play with your partner, and you are knowledgeable about whatever you're doing, obviously, you are going to take pride in whatever you're doing. You are going to try your best. Now remember, if a true connoisseur of sex knows that sex is not about him or her, it's about your partner. What I can do for you, because the more I do for you, you will do for me. Even a BDSM session, the more you do for the person, the more the person wants to do for you.
Okay.
So the person will be having sexual thoughts about you or sexual interaction within themselves for you. And this is where the reward comes in. Like sometimes, you know, there are persons who want to engage in a BDSM situation, not as a voyeur. Now you have BDSM voyeurs also, people who like to look. I'm talking about somebody who wants to actually take part in a BDSM. Right. So this person wants to be dominated. The person who is being dominated in many different ways, different things being used on the person. That person is going to move from whatever state they may be sexually aroused to a point where that person is flowing like a river. Literally flowing like a river. And they cannot control it and you cannot control it as long as you're doing all the right things to the person. Now, if let's say as part of your dominance, you decide that I am not going to have intercourse with you. I am going to do all these things with you, but I am not going to penetrate you. That is total control. But you have to be able to do it. So that is where you play the mind game. That is where you know start controlling the entire situation. Right? The woman may be however sexy she wants to be, pretty, good looking, the kind of woman that turns you on, and you're just saying, I am in control. I don't need you. You hold up. You know what happens to that person? When that person leaves you, she continues to come. She goes home, touches her vagina, right after she urinates to wipe it, she's coming again. Morning she gets up, she's thinking about you. That is what you call dominance. Dominance of the mind is greater than dominance of the body. Always remember that. The mind is your largest sex organ. It is that part of you that is always stimulated or needs to be stimulated. If you stimulate that properly, no matter where that person is, how long after, that person is going to remember what was done to them. That's why when we meet up, like when I go to LA or I go to Vegas for the A4M or the AVN show, the persons who I interact with, they always remember that. They always remember what was done to them or with them. Because it always comes back up in conversation and you just rock back and you look at them and smile. You just look at them and smile. It's like once I spent an evening with a couple up in the mountain where they live. Nice overview of LA and whatnot. It was a famous actor's house that they bought. And about 2 o'clock in the morning, they start making phone calls, the lady of the house. And her friends were coming over and whatnot. And she still talks about that to this day, why she had to do that. And it was one simple sentence that she sent out. One simple sentence. And I always remember, I remember it, but she remembers it more. But it's dominance of the mind. So although the person may be famous in a particular area, in porn, you can still dominate that mind that the person remembers that particular incident as opposed to all the other incidents. That is the same thing that applies to any human being. Any human being that you come into contact with on a sexual note, you can, now take out the word dominance, you can create an impact on that person that they will remember whatever you have done. And it always is a pleasant reminder. Very pleasant reminder. I'm looking at time here because you know it's food and drink involved. You're laughing or you're smiling, Richard? Look at you, she grinning.
You see some, oh, this is the first grin I get for the night. Food.
We just have two beautiful women and they're only interested in food and drink. They're not interested in me, you know. Lord have mercy. I guess no impact on the mind. Now, no one impact on the mind after a year.
Anyway, folks, taking your time, it's now 7 minutes before 11 o'clock. Inside
My good friend Bobby.
2228255, also at 6128255. The only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and Therapy Center. For those of you who are listening to Sexplosion for the very first time, Sexplosion is featured here on Power 102 FM every Friday from 9 p.m. Yep.
Sitaram Gurbai, how are you? I see my Gurbai is on, Bim is on, who else? Jenny, Bobby, my good friend, #1 cook in Trinidad. Hey, you would like him. He could real cook. Vera, Giselle. So when you talk about your actions and your word, again, we come back to time, place, and circumstance. What is being done, who it's being done with, your actions, your truthfulness in whatever is being done. A lot of people like to create this illusion about themselves or create an illusion about something, and in reality, it's just false words and false behavior. That don't make sense. That is why my clinic has been successful for so many years. Over 25 years operating, and yet still, by word of mouth alone, we don't need to advertise, because by word of mouth alone, we have enough people coming to the clinic because they get what they want. They are satisfied with whatever they're getting. They're happy with whatever they're getting, and they pass the word on. So it is your truthfulness, your action, and how you back up whatever you're doing. And that is important. I am not the same person I was 25 years ago. Everybody changes. As a human being, you change. Maturity changes you. Experience changes you. Behavior changes you. Circumstances in life changes you. Anything can cause change. A person who's gone through trauma in their life, and that changes them. That changes their behavior, their pattern, their like, the things that they like, the things that they don't like. There are persons who have been traumatized sexually that gets to like sex more than anything else, and there are some persons who get to hate it. Why? It depends on the individual. It depends on what has impacted on the brain. It depends on how they perceive things to be and what they see things as later on. There are some persons so traumatized because of things that have happened to them. They cower when they hear certain sounds or certain things or certain types of persons. That is human nature. How do you get over those things? The only way you get over those things is the power of the mind, the brain power that you have. Your brain is so powerful. Remember, we use less than 10% of our brain. And look how intelligent we are. Could you imagine if you use 1% more?
Could you imagine if you employ 1% more? That's why yoga and meditation and those things are important, you know. Because when you start getting into the realm of yoga or meditation, focusing your mind on religion, God, a murti, something that will help you to focus, doing jap, the rosary or whatever, you start developing a part of your brain that was not touched. If you're developing a part of your brain that was not touched, aren't you increasing the power of your brain?
Yeah, of course.
So why limit yourself to just thinking about sex, or just thinking about food, or just thinking about cooking, or thinking about studies, or thinking about being a mechanic, and you limit yourself to that? Why not be a multi-purpose person? And I don't believe in this word multitask. I don't believe in that, because no, I don't believe that. Nobody can multitask. People say they can multitask, but they really can't. Because if you have to do this, to put this on, you need to concentrate on doing that to do that. You can't be doing this and changing it up there. That is multitasking. If you could do two of those things at the same time, that is multitasking. Not paying attention to something and doing something else. That is not multitasking. So we use the word multitask in a wrong way. You know, when people come to me and on their resume have, I can multitask, I write you off on them. Because nobody can multitask. You cannot tell me you could drive a car. You cannot tell me you could drive a car and change something on the side. You have to give up one to do the other, because your eyes will come off the road and you'll have to do that. So don't tell me you're doing both. That's why they have a law against having cell phone in your hand while driving, because nobody can have a cell phone in your hand and drive properly. Nobody. So when persons tell you they can multitask, they're fooling themselves, because there's no such thing. The very same thing comes back to your behavior. When you focus your mind, you know, I wish I had taken it from Facebook and just spread it to everyone. There was a young lady, a Caucasian woman, talking about Hinduism, and she explained Hinduism better than any Hindu I've ever heard. She had answers for every single thing about Hinduism, and I was blown away. Everything she said, I know. Yeah. But I myself never explained it that way. And it was a half an hour interview on her and Hinduism and Murti and meditation and yoga and every aspect. Even the gods in Hinduism, they say Hindus only have one God, which we all know. But he comes in many different forms. Just as how you are a DJ, you are a father, you are a brother, you are a son. And there's about 5 different names. But it's one Junior Saldana. Yeah. It is one Junior Saldana with many different names. The same way Lord Shiva has many different names. So when persons tell you these kind of things, it is frivolous things that we take into being now, because we on this earth and we tell ourselves that, you know what is multitasking? When you watch one of those representations of God and they're shooting an arrow and talking to you at the same time and hitting the target. That is multitasking. Okay. And I ask anybody to aim a gun, fire it, and talk to somebody else. That is multitasking. If you could do that, you can multitask. Nobody could do that. Nobody will hit the target. Bullseye. And I'm telling you from experience. I'm not telling you from something that I've read or heard. Yeah. You cannot concentrate on a target and hit it by turning so and talking to somebody else. You'll never hit it. That is multitasking. If you could do that and hit it, then you're multitasking. So this is what I'm bringing it back to you. Bringing it back to you as a person. When you're concentrating on doing something with a person, give it your all. Let that person, sometimes me personally, if I'm having a conversation, I concentrate on 5 things on the person. 5 things. So another person says, why are you looking at me like that? I'm not looking at you like that. Hand movement, facial expression, lips, your eyes, and the change in your body. That tells me more than you are saying. I don't let your words coming out, you know, but I am focusing on 5 things about you that you have no idea. You could watch anybody who's about to lie, what they do. Yeah. They have to. Yeah. Anybody who's about to lie have to do that. Because they have to create something here to tell you. Person who's speaking the truth never look up here. Ask anybody who does interrogation.
Another thing they do is look down.
Oh, look down. Because they're trying to create something. Because they engage in that part of the brain that they have to build a lie. When you ask a person the truth, they have to build a lie, they tell you the truth. That's why I tell you to be truthful is the best thing. So I focus on 5 elements of the person And I asking you a question. I watching your reaction. Your reaction is telling me something different from what's coming out of your mouth.
From what the person is telling you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All the time.
So let me ask you a question. So what, especially this one, what kind of reaction are you getting? A food reaction?
I would not embarrass her. No. I don't feel I've seen everything she doing.
Yeah.
I have very good peripheral vision. I could see exactly what both of them doing while watching.
Yeah.
Men have very good peripheral vision. That's why a guy could take a car and pass it through a narrow passage, watching straight. We have very good peripheral vision. Women don't have. We have peripheral vision, so they have it so. That's another thing about human beings. How many people know those things? How many people concentrate on this? You ask a woman to drive through a passage or go and park between two cars, the steering going so. You ask a guy to be driving. Why? He's seeing the two cars on the side. That's how we have developed. That's why when you say a woman want to be equal to men, you could never be. A woman could never be equal to a man could never be equal to a woman. You are developed and made in a different way. You are. When women go into lie, they can lie with a straight face, but their eyes always change. Their eyes, they could lie. You understand? There's nothing more sincere than a woman telling you a lie. It's the most sincerity you'll ever see on a woman's face when they're telling you a lie. Cary Grant. Always remember that. We have reached the end of our program, folks.
Ready?
With that, good night until next week.
You've been listening to Sexplosion on Power 102 FM with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj Ramanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. Every Friday from 9 until 11, exclusively on Power 102 FM. Stay tuned. Coming up next,